Episode 1: Departure and the Endless Horizon. Setting out. The ship rests at the harbor, slowly rocking with the tide. Ropes creak under their own weight. The sailors climb over wet planks, check sails, adjust rigging, but little is urgent. Life on board is measured in small movements, quiet routines, and steady observation. The sky is pale, the clouds soft. The ocean ahead stretches endlessly. No sailor knows if the next port will arrive before months pass. They will see nothing more than water for days at a time. The crew. Sailors vary in age, origin, and disposition, but all share the same rhythm. Morning, check sails, fetch water, clean decks. Midday, wait. The sun climbs, shadows shorten. Evening, small meals, quiet conversation, or contemplative silence. Conversations are minimal because monotony encourages silence. Observing the horizon is a form of mindfulness. The ship and its structure dictate all else. Daily routine. Each day, the sailor rises before the sun. He sweeps the deck, inspects ropes, and performs maintenance that repeats daily. Meals are simple: salted meat, hard biscuits, perhaps a small fish if lucky. Water is rationed, and every sip is measured. The motion of the ship is constant. At first, the body adapts, balancing with each sway. Over time, fatigue seeps into every muscle. Monotony of the horizon. The sea offers little variation. Waves rise and fall, clouds drift slowly. Occasionally, gulls appear, marking nothing more than land still far away. Time blends. Days and nights lose their individuality. Memories of yesterday merge with today. The sailor does not count hours, he counts tasks. Risks that go unnoticed. Danger is not always dramatic. Rotting wood, minor injuries, and disease erode strength slowly. Storms can come without warning, but often the danger is subtle. Salt sores, hunger, exhaustion. Even the strongest sailor may never reach a second port, not because of combat or disaster, but because small accumulations of hardship erode resilience. The ship as a microcosm. The ship becomes the entire world. It holds order, movement, and survival routines. Life is not measured by discovery, but whether the sails hold, the food lasts, and the water supply endures. Closing. The horizon waits. The sailor gazes at the horizon. It is infinite. No port appears, yet daily life continues, quietly, without excitement. The sea, vast and impartial, reminds him survival is persistence, not triumph. Episode 2: Life at Sea. The Endless Sea. Days at sea are measured in repeated routines. The horizon never changes. The same swell rises, the same wind brushes the sails. Even clouds drift in patterns familiar to the experienced eye. The sailor learns to read the subtle signs, the change in wave patterns, the shift in wind, the quiet rustle of ropes. Everything tells him nothing has changed, and yet everything matters. Daily labor. Each morning begins before sunrise. The sailor climbs the wet deck, checks each rope, inspects each sail. Repetition is safety. Neglect even for a few minutes could invite disaster. Meal preparation is mechanical. Water is measured, salted meat is rationed. The cook performs the same motions. The sailors watch, quietly participate. Even cleaning the deck follows the same circular pattern. Nothing is hurried, nothing is dramatic. Navigation and observation. The navigator uses instruments the sailor barely touches. The compass, the quadrant, the rudimentary charts, all guide a course that seems invisible to the untrained eye. For the sailor, observation is constant, almost meditative, watching the wind ripple on the waves, noting the drift of clouds, listening for distant gull cries. No port appears. The horizon stretches endlessly, a pale line between water and sky. Fatigue and endurance. Fatigue sets in slowly. Muscles ache from the constant sway of the ship. Backs stiffen, feet swell, hands blister. The sailor does not complain aloud. Energy is precious, words are wasted. Even small injuries linger. Salt water stings cuts, blisters worsen under gloves. Fatigue dulls reflexes. Monotony of sound. The sea has its own rhythm, the slap of waves against the hull, the creak of masts, the occasional distant bird. The sailor tunes out all but essentials. Speech becomes minimal, thought becomes procedural. Even the sound of laughter, when it occurs, fades quickly, lost in the swell and wind. Illness and vulnerability. Illness is quiet, creeping, unobserved. Sailors suffer dysentery, scurvy, or simple exhaustion. Treatment is minimal, recovery is uncertain. Even the strongest sailor may not survive a long voyage, not from storm or battle, but from the accumulation of small weaknesses, a missed meal, a persistent cough, the subtle dehydration of endless salt air. Time without land. Days blur into nights and nights into days. The sailor marks time not by sun or moon, but by tasks completed. Each turn of the watch is a small measure of endurance. Even the stars offer little comfort. Their constellations shift slowly, almost unnoticed. Closing. Survival, not glory. The sailor learns quickly that survival is quiet, not heroic. It is persistence in repetition, attention to detail, endurance of fatigue, endurance of boredom. Ports may exist beyond the horizon, but many sailors never see them. Some do not live to see a second one. The sea is impartial. It only measures whether you persist. Episode 3. Storms and Stillness. The Quiet Before. The sea is often calm for days at a time. The horizon stretches endlessly, pale and indistinct. Sails flap softly in the wind, ropes creak intermittently. The sailor rises early, checks the deck, adjusts lines, performs the familiar mechanical tasks. No excitement occurs, no change interrupts the rhythm. Yet even in calm, vigilance is constant. The sailor knows that the smallest oversight can accumulate over days into misfortune. Preparing for the unseen. Storms do not announce themselves dramatically. They are first subtle, a shift in the wind, a darkening of clouds, a change in the swell. Sailors prepare quietly, securing cargo, tightening lines, inspecting sails and rigging. Every motion is familiar, performed without haste. The same sailor repeats each inspection multiple times. There is no heroism, only necessity. Life between storms. When the sea is calm, the sailor performs routine maintenance, scrubbing the deck, oiling the wooden surfaces, cleaning small tools and instruments. Meals are simple, eaten in silence or whispered conversation. Water is rationed carefully. Salted meat and hard biscuits are consumed without taste, more to survive than enjoy.
Even small changes, like a slightly warmer wind or a change in current, are noted quietly, mentally recorded for later. Fatigue and adaptation. The sailor's body adjusts to the constant sway of the ship. Muscles ache, joints stiffen, hands blister. Fatigue accumulates slowly, day by day. Sleep is broken. Even when lying down, the hull rocks. The sailor learns to rest without fully relaxing, to adapt without complaint. Endurance is survival. Comfort is not necessary. Observation as mindfulness. The sailor spends hours watching the horizon, the rise and fall of waves, the drift of clouds, the occasional bird or distant ship. Observation is not curiosity, it is habit. It keeps the sailor aware, alert, and alive. Even monotony is a form of safety. Every repetition sharpens attention. Subtle dangers. Illness creeps quietly. Scurvy begins with minor weakness. Minor cuts fester. Salt sores sting silently. Storms may arrive with little warning, but the slow, persistent danger is often more lethal. Hunger, fatigue, disease. Many sailors perish not in dramatic moments, but gradually, unnoticed by the crew. The horizon remains unchanged. Days merge into nights, nights into days. Stars shift imperceptibly. The sea remains vast, indifferent, and unyielding. Ports exist, perhaps, somewhere beyond the horizon. Some sailors will never see them. Some will not survive the monotonous endurance required to reach them. Closing. Endurance over glory. Survival is quiet. It is repetition, vigilance, and persistence. Glory may await others at distant lands, but the sailor measures life in daily survival. A second port is a distant, uncertain promise. The sea measures only whether one endures each day with attention, discipline, and patience.
Episode 4: Days Without Land. The Ocean as World. For weeks, the ocean is the only world the sailor knows. No land appears, no birds fly overhead for long. The horizon stretches endlessly, a pale line separating sky from water. The sailor's life is dictated by routine. Every hour is accounted for, checking sails, adjusting rigging, scrubbing the deck, mending torn ropes. Each motion repeated dozens of times, yet each necessary for survival. Food and water. Meals are simple, functional, and unchanging. Hard biscuits, salted meat, occasional dried legumes. Water is rationed carefully, every sip measured. A missed ration can have consequences days later. The monotony of diet mirrors the monotony of the sea. The sailor does not crave variety, he craves survival. Time without markers. Without sight of land, days lose distinction. Sunrises and sunsets blend into one another. The sailor marks time by tasks rather than hours. Morning rigging inspections, midday deck cleaning, evening watch on the quarterdeck. Even the stars offer little clarity. Their slow rotation is almost imperceptible to the untrained eye. Fatigue and bodily wear. The constant sway of the ship erodes the sailor's body. Muscles ache, joints stiffen, backs tire. Hands blister from ropes and tools. Sleep is never complete. Even when lying down in the hammocks, the hull rocks. Sailors learn to rest while staying partially alert. Every small injury, untreated, compounds over days into weakness. Observation as necessity. The sailor spends hours watching the waves, their rise and fall, subtle color shifts, drifting foam.
Even the smallest detail can hint at weather change, a coming storm, or a shift in current. Observation is survival. Even boredom becomes a form of awareness. Subtle threats. The dangers of life at sea are slow, invisible, and cumulative. Scurvy, infections, minor injuries, fatigue. Storms are sudden, yes, but often the quiet erosion of health proves deadlier. Some sailors fall ill silently and never reach a port. Community on board. Sailors form a fragile community. Mutual dependence is quiet, unspoken. A shared watch, helping with a heavy line, checking for unnoticed injury. Yet conversation is minimal. Energy is precious. Words are wasted. The ship itself becomes a world of rules and repetition, a microcosm of survival. Closing. The horizon remains. Days, nights, weeks, there is no end in sight. The horizon never changes. Ports may exist beyond it, but few sailors see them. The sailor survives not through daring, but through repetition, vigilance, and endurance. To see a second port, one must survive the monotony, the fatigue, the invisible dangers. Many do not, and the sea remains impartial. Episode 4 emphasizes the monotony of the sea, survival through endurance, subtle, slow-moving dangers, the psychological and physical toll of endless days without land.
Episode 5: Routine and the Small World. Life in a confined space. The ship is small. Space is measured, controlled, and repetitive. The sailor learns the boundaries: where he sleeps, where he works, where he eats. Every corner of the vessel is familiar, worn from use. There is little novelty. Everything has a purpose. Even the smell of tar, salt, and wet wood becomes a kind of constancy, marking the rhythm of life aboard. Tasks repeated. Each day begins before sunrise, following nearly identical steps: checking sails, inspecting rigging, mending small tears in canvas, swabbing the deck. The same tasks occur at the same times each day with precision. No variation is allowed because mistakes can be costly. Each repetition becomes almost meditative, a slow, quiet way to survive. Meals that repeat. Salted meat, hard biscuits, occasional dried fish. Meals are eaten quickly, without ceremony, often standing on the deck. Water is rationed, and each sip is deliberate. Hunger is constant, but muted, so ordinary it becomes invisible. The monotony of diet mirrors the monotony of life at sea. There is no excitement in eating, only the small reassurance of nourishment. The body in motion. The sailor's body adapts to constant movement. Muscles tighten, relax, and repeat. Hands blister, heal, and blister again. Feet swell, ache, and endure. Even sleep is incomplete. Hammocks sway, decks tilt, and the sailor learns to rest while remaining alert. The body becomes a clock, a tool, a record of endurance. Observation becomes a skill. The sailor observes endlessly, changes in cloud patterns, shifts in wind and current, the occasional bird or distant ship. Observation is not curiosity, it is necessity. Small changes indicate storms, shifts in direction, or approaching dangers. Even boredom sharpens attention. Repetition becomes vigilance. Illness and subtle decay. Disease progresses quietly. Scurvy begins with fatigue and swollen gums. Minor injuries fester. Salt sores burn silently. Even the strongest sailor can be weakened by small, cumulative problems. Storms and pirates are obvious threats, but the slow erosion of health and stamina is far deadlier. Many sailors will never see a second port, not due to heroism or misfortune, but because survival is measured in persistence. Small moments of connection. In quiet, sailors sometimes speak, giving a hand with a rope, sharing a small ration, a brief comment about the weather. Words are minimal, gestures are sufficient. Dependence on one another is implicit, learned, and necessary. Even fleeting human connection becomes a marker of survival. Closing. A life measured in tasks. The horizon remains unchanged. Time is marked not by sunrises or sunsets, but by tasks performed. Survival requires repetition, endurance, and vigilance. The sailor measures days not by events, but by the quiet fulfillment of duties. Ports may lie beyond the horizon, but reaching them is uncertain. The sea does not favor the brave, it favors the persistent.
Episode 6. Illness without alarm. Sickness arrives quietly. Illness rarely announces itself at sea. There is no moment when the sailor can say it has begun. Fatigue deepens first. Strength fades slightly. Movements slow without explanation. The sailor continues working, assuming the weakness will pass. It often does not. The normalization of pain. A sore mouth, bleeding gums, loose teeth. These symptoms are discussed casually without urgency. Many sailors experience them. They are not considered emergencies, only inconveniences. Pain becomes background noise, something the body learns to ignore until it cannot. Scurvy as routine. Fresh food is absent. Weeks pass without fruit or vegetables. The sailor's joints ache. Skin bruises easily. Small wounds refuse to heal. Scurvy does not incapacitate immediately. It erodes. By the time it is recognized, the sailor may already be beyond recovery. Working through decline. The sailor continues his duties. He pulls ropes more slowly, climbs less confidently, avoids tasks that require balance. There is no replacement. Every able body is necessary. Rest is not prescribed. It is improvised in brief moments between tasks. Limited care. Medical knowledge is minimal. Treatments consist of bleeding, herbal mixtures, prayers. The ship's surgeon, if present, is overwhelmed and under-equipped. Illness is managed, not cured. Quiet isolation. Sick sailors are not isolated out of cruelty. There is simply no space. The ill remain among the healthy, coughing softly, breathing heavily. No one comments unless symptoms become severe. Silence becomes a form of acceptance. The fear that goes unspoken. Every sailor knows what illness means. A weakened body cannot endure storms. A weakened body cannot climb or hold fast. Falling overboard is easier when strength fades. Fear exists, but it is not expressed. Acknowledging it would require energy no one can spare. Death without spectacle. When a sailor dies, it is not dramatic. Work pauses briefly. The body is wrapped. Words are said quietly. Then the sea receives another life. Routine resumes immediately. The ship cannot afford to stop. Closing. Survival is conditional. Survival at sea is not guaranteed by skill or courage. It depends on health, timing, and chance. Many sailors do not fail the sea. Their bodies simply give out before the voyage ends. A second port is not denied by fate. It is withheld by endurance running out.
Episode 7. When time loses meaning. Days without markers. At sea, days lack distinction. There are no streets, no changing scenery, no familiar landmarks. The horizon looks the same in every direction. Sunrise follows sunrise, but nothing marks one day as different from the next. The sailor stops counting. The clock is the ship. Time is measured by tasks, not hours. When sails are adjusted, when meals are issued, when watches change. The body learns the schedule even when the mind does not. Minutes and hours blur together. Only exhaustion signals the passage of time. Memory begins to thin. Without variation, memory weakens. Events fail to anchor themselves. Conversations are forgotten shortly after they occur. The sailor recalls ports more clearly than recent days. Past life feels more real than the present. The loss of self. Names matter less. Identity is reduced to function. Hands on rope, eyes on horizon, weight on deck. Personal history fades. The sailor becomes part of the ship rather than an individual upon it. This is not despair, it is adaptation. Thought slows. Complex thinking becomes difficult. Decisions are avoided unless necessary. Silence is preferred to conversation. The mind conserves energy the same way the body does. Imagination, once active, becomes quiet. Dreams without rest. Sleep brings little relief. Dreams are repetitive. Waves, creaking wood, endless motion. The sailor wakes unsure whether he has slept or merely paused. Rest does not restore, it only delays fatigue. Emotional narrowing. Strong emotions fade. Fear dulls. Hope becomes abstract. Joy is rare and brief. The sailor does not despair loudly, he endures quietly. Emotion becomes something distant, like land remembered from afar. Moments of disorientation. Occasionally, the sailor forgets where he is. He wakes unsure of direction or purpose. These moments pass, unnoticed by others. Such confusion is common and unremarked upon. Closing. Endurance of the mind. The sea does not only test the body, it slowly wears down the mind. Survival requires not strength or bravery, but mental persistence. Many sailors do not break dramatically. They simply thin out, physically, mentally, emotionally, until nothing remains to carry them forward. A second port requires more than survival. It requires a self still intact enough to recognize it. Episode 8. Authority without appeal. Order as necessity. A ship cannot function without hierarchy. Commands are not debated. Orders are not explained. Authority exists to maintain movement, not fairness. At sea, hesitation can be fatal. The captain's distance. The captain is visible but distant. He speaks rarely. When he does, it is brief and final. Personal feelings are irrelevant. The ship moves forward because authority remains unquestioned. Discipline without drama. Punishment is routine. It is not delivered with anger. Mistakes are corrected quickly, visibly, and without discussion. The goal is not cruelty. The goal is compliance. Fear as structure. Sailors do not fear the captain personally. They fear disruption. Discipline prevents chaos, which invites disaster. Fear becomes another tool, quiet, constant, effective. Silence as survival. Disagreement is dangerous. Questioning decisions wastes time and energy. Sailors learn when not to speak. Silence keeps order intact. Unequal risk. Officers observe. Sailors labor. The burden of risk is unevenly distributed. Those who climb rigging or handle sails in storms accept danger as routine. Authority protects itself first. Punishment as warning. Punishment is public, not to humiliate, but to remind. Each correction reinforces structure. Every sailor understands what is expected. Acceptance over resentment. Resentment requires energy. Most sailors do not indulge it. Acceptance is easier. It allows survival to remain the priority. Closing. Control as stability. Authority does not make life better. It makes it predictable. At sea, predictability is safety. A sailor who resists order risks more than punishment. He risks becoming expendable. A second port is reached not by independence, but by obedience sustained long enough.
Episode 9. When routine breaks. Storms as interruption. Storms are not dramatic events at first. They begin as small changes. Heavier swells, darker clouds, wind that shifts without warning. The sailor notices without comment. Routine adjusts. Preparation without urgency. Sails are shortened. Lines are secured. Loose objects are tied down. Movements are deliberate, practiced. There is no panic. Panic wastes energy. The sea changes texture. As the storm strengthens, the sea becomes uneven. The deck grows slick. Footing requires constant attention. The sailor's body tightens, responding automatically. Accidents without sound. Most injuries happen quietly. A sailor slips, a rope snaps, a hand is crushed between wood and rigging. Shouts are brief. Work continues. Loss without ceremony. Sometimes a sailor disappears. No one sees the moment. There is no signal, no pause, only an empty space where someone stood. The ship does not turn back. Survival through focus. Attention narrows. The sailor thinks only of the next motion. Hands grip, feet brace, eyes track movement. Thinking beyond the present is impossible. Exhaustion afterward. When the storm passes, fatigue remains. Bodies ache. Minor injuries accumulate. There is no recovery period. Routine resumes immediately. Counting the missing. The crew is smaller. No announcement is made. Everyone notices. No one speaks. Loss becomes another condition of the voyage. Closing. Survival is uneven. Storms do not choose. They interrupt. Some endure. Some vanish. A sailor does not need to be careless to be lost. He only needs to be present when routine breaks. A second port remains possible, but never guaranteed.
Episode 10. Land that does not end the journey. The first sight of land. Land appears gradually. A dark line at the horizon. A change in the color of the water. Birds circling at a distance. No celebration follows. The sailor has seen false signs before. Cautious hope. Whispers spread quietly along the deck. Eyes linger on the horizon. Hope is present, but restrained. Many voyages have ended just short of safety. Land does not mean rest. Even when land draws closer, work increases. Sails are adjusted constantly. Navigational errors become dangerous. Reefs and shoals replace open water as threats. The sailor remains alert. Land is not yet safety. The body is already spent. By the time land appears, many sailors are exhausted. Illness has weakened them. Injuries have accumulated. Hunger has become routine. Reaching shore requires strength that not all possess. Ports that reject. Not every coastline offers welcome. Some ports are hostile. Some are closed by disease or conflict. Some lack supplies. A ship may anchor briefly and depart again. The sailor does not disembark. Death near safety. Some sailors die within sight of land. Their bodies fail after endurance is no longer required. Relief arrives too late. Disappointment without anger. There is no outburst, no accusation. Disappointment settles quietly. Expectation gives way to acceptance. The journey continues. The illusion of arrival. Land suggests completion. In reality, it often extends uncertainty. A second port is not an ending. It is only another phase of survival. Closing. Distance is not the only measure. Survival is not measured by miles traveled. It is measured by what remains of the sailor upon arrival. Many reach land altered beyond recovery. Some never reach it at all. A second port exists, but only for those whose bodies, minds, and endurance last long enough to recognize it. Episode 11. After survival comes adjustment. Arrival without celebration. If the ship reaches port, it does so quietly. There is no ceremony. Lines are thrown, sails are lowered. The ship settles into stillness. The sailor steps onto land without triumph. The body does not reset. Survival does not restore strength. Legs feel uncertain on solid ground. Balance falters. Muscles remain tense. The sailor carries the sea within his body. Recovery is slow, incomplete. A changed relationship with time. On land, clocks exist again. Days have names, but the sailor struggles to follow them. Time at sea has reshaped perception. Stillness feels unfamiliar. Language feels heavy. Conversation requires effort. Explaining the voyage seems unnecessary. Words fail to capture endurance. Silence feels more accurate. The loss of belonging. The ship was harsh, but it was structured. On land, roles are unclear. The sailor is no longer essential. Purpose fades quietly. Survival without reward. Wages are small, recognition is limited, health is diminished. Survival itself is the only achievement. The weight of continuity. Many sailors sign on again, not from desire, but from familiarity. The sea has altered them too deeply. Land feels temporary. Closing. Surviving the voyage does not mean escaping it. The sailor is changed, physically, mentally, quietly. A second port may be reached, but the journey does not end there. For many, survival simply prepares them for the next endurance. Episode 12. The Sea Remains. The ship does not remember. When the voyage ends, the ship remains. Wood repaired replaces wood lost. Ropes are coiled again. Sails are folded and stored. The ship carries no memory of those who did not return. It is prepared for another journey. Names fade first. The sailor's name is rarely recorded. If it appears in a ledger, it is one among many. Over time, even that record disappears. What mattered was not who sailed, but that someone did. Survival as a temporary state. Survival was never permanent. It was borrowed time. Each day lived at sea required conditions to align: health, weather, discipline, chance. When one failed, the voyage ended for that sailor, often quietly. The sea does not judge. The sea does not reward effort. It does not punish mistakes. It responds only to physics, weather, and time. Human endurance is incidental. Ports as brief interruptions. Ports do not represent completion. They are pauses. Supplies are taken, crews change, ships depart again. The cycle continues without reflection. Those who never arrived. Most sailors did not disappear dramatically. They weakened, they slipped, they failed quietly. Their absence left no mark on the route. What endurance meant. Endurance was not bravery. It was compliance with routine, acceptance of discomfort, silence in the face of decline. Those who survived longest were not the strongest. They were the most adaptable. The illusion of exploration. Maps expanded, empires grew, but individual sailors remained replaceable. Exploration advanced without regard for the cost paid by those who enabled it. The sea continues. The horizon remains unchanged. Wind crosses water as it always has. Ships still move forward. The sea does not close behind anyone. Closing. Why a second port was never promised. A sailor did not fail by not reaching a second port. The promise never existed. Survival was conditional, temporary, and unevenly distributed. To sail at all was to accept that most journeys end before their destination. The sea remains, the ships continue, and the sailor, briefly present, passes through history without pause.